And there's Zane Williams with Overnight Success here on Texas Homegrown Radio. And welcome to another edition of the Quayde Things podcast. My name's Quayde, and my guest hanging out with me over here is my buddy, Mr. Clete Bradley. What up, dude?
How's it going, man?
Dude, hanging out. Glad that you're in town today.
Yeah, me
it's
too.
A beautiful day for some music. Wasn't too hot today, so.
No, it's been pretty decent. I got I live in Fort Worth now, and I got up this morning, drank a little bit of coffee, made some bacon and eggs, and went and worked out afterwards. Just kind of relaxed with that. It's kind of been a relaxed day.
Heck yeah, sounds good to me, man. And so you're in Fort Worth now. How long have you been up there?
Man, I moved here about a year and 3 months, I'd say.
Right on.
I got laid off in the oil field a couple of years back, and I just thought, I was happier playing music, so now it's it's a little different. It's Clete Bradley in the Mood instead of the old Buckshot Bradley stuff. Right,
but and where did you come up with that name, Clete Bradley in the Mood? Where'd you come up with that?
Well, my real name's Clete Carrillo. Carrillo's my last name. Bradley's my middle name, and my dad just, I don't know, he always jokes around. He's like, you can't get famous with that last name. I said, okay. So I just went with Clete Bradley, and I didn't really want to go with Buckshot Bradley, the old stuff, because the new stuff's nothing like it. This is kind of reinvented myself, I guess you could say.
Right on.
But,
were you in a good mood when you came up with the Mood, or a bad mood when you came up with the Mood? How'd that roll over?
Bradley's my middle name, so that's where that came in. So we had Clete Bradley in the Mood. It was kind of funny. When I was talking to all the different guys that are in my band at the time, everybody keeps asking me, what genre are you going for? What genre? And I'm like, man, I really don't write in a genre. I write in whatever mood I'm in.
Right. And
Kit Castillo at the time, he's kind of retired as a drummer, but good friend of mine, and he played with me for a little bit, and he just said, man, that's the name right there, Clete Bradley and the Mood.
And the Mood.
So, and I just kind of sticks, as far as genre, like I said, I've never really written to be in a genre. I just write to write,
Right on. And
therapy, I guess.
Dude, it's great therapy, to watch. I've got a lot of friends that are songwriters and musicians and stuff, and they'll turn a shitty day into a great song, and it's cool to watch them, go from like pin up and angry about something,
right?
Then they'll put it out, and then they just get like a deep breath in, deep breath out, kind of sort of deal.
And here lately, I've never done this, but I've got a bunch of old stuff I've written that I never put out. In fact, I even have a full record that I went and recorded I never put out.
Really?
And, oh yeah. And I'm starting to tag into some of those songs, that are on that record, and I'm kind of reinventing some, and even some of the old Buckshot days. I'm taking a few of those and gonna kind of test the waters and see what I do different with them. And it's kind of like, really any kind of art's never finished.
Right.
There's always something you can do, and so that's the reason why I'm not leaving those out. I've got this big old vault of songs that either I've written or they're half written, or that I think there's something there.
Right.
And all of it's life. All of it's everything I write's true. It's either I was a part of it, it actually happened to me, which was most of it. So it just depends on what it is, and I just kind of get it off my chest and put it on paper or put it in a song. So.
Right on, man. Writing these songs, which one do you think is one of the ones that you say you kind of use this as a form of therapy? Like what song did you write you think you got the most out of, like with your soul, like with your heart? You know what I mean? Like putting one out, what made you feel better after? You know what I mean? I guess there's two different ways you could look at that. As far as getting something on a copy of something, this EP, I'd recorded the first time I recorded my first album, which was Buckshot Bradley back in the day. We recorded that in our living room. It was actually a little shed that this guy gave us that we turned into a recording studio. Nice.
And the second one, I went to Wonderland in Austin with Mark McKinney's brother. But at the time, the band wasn't doing very good, we were all graduating college, and trying to figure out what we're gonna do.
The mix-up.
Yeah, and we ended up not putting that album out, and I wasn't really it wasn't Wonderland Studios or any of their fault. It was more of my fault. I should have taken more direction of what I wanted to hear instead of, you know, what's actually on there.
Right.
And so that's the reason why I didn't put it out. So this record this EP I just put out, man, I was Jude Dillon, my producer, is amazing. I don't know if you've heard of him, but he's phenomenal. And man, it's the first time I'd ever listened to myself. He gave me a copy of it and said, "All right, man, let's do your truck, because that's the real, once you put it in your truck and you drive off,
right,
then you get to hear what everybody else can hear,
Right, because 90% of the time you're listening to music anymore, it's either on your phone or in the truck,
and so
or on the phone in the truck,
right. and man, I've been through so much stuff, adversity, just everything in the last 4 years. To listen to that first time, to listen to those songs for the first time, and I'm on my way to Papa Do's, fixing to meet Jude, to go.
I love Papa Do's.
Yeah, that's my favorite place too. And I'm on my, I told Jude, I said, man, I'm gonna take you wherever you want, Thank you for doing this, and I take him and his girl, and we go, and I'm listening to my music on the way there, and I'm following him because he knows this area more than I do.
Right.
And man, on the way there, dude, I broke down in tears because for the first time, I actually enjoyed
listening to yourself,
listening to what we created, and what it's like, what I felt he put on, this album, and
that's a cool feeling, man.
It really is. It was the first time I'd ever felt that way with my own music. And mom and dad play my stuff all the time at the house. We're they'll have a barbecue or something, and I'll show up and I hear it, and I'm like, man, I really don't want to listen to myself, But the first time I heard this, I actually was just excited, and I'm ready to get back in the studio again. As far as a song, man, there's two of them. One is called 30 Days, and it was about doing 30 days in Tom Green County for a mistake that that everybody does, but I got caught.
It happens, man.
Don't drink and drive, folks. That's the lesson learned there. And
okay, tell me this is not one of the most crazy, depressing things you've heard, right? So it was one of those anti-drinking and driving Facebook ads or something like that.
Right.
And it said, "Don't drink and drive. If you don't come home, your dog will never understand."
That's true, man.
Right? That's deep and
that
sad.
Is deep, yeah. Because I love my dog. My dog loves me, and he'd be missing. And I've seen that. I've seen people who parents who get their kid's dog, and you can just
see it.
Yeah, and then it doesn't do well for the parents either. I've seen that.
Right. Sorry, I wasn't trying to
it's cool.
interrupt you there. But I had to think of that one.
You hit a certain spot. I did 30 days in Tom Green. It's a federal holding facility. And I was in there with guys fixing to catch chain for 15, 20 years. And doing that, I came out with a song. I wrote it while I was there doing those 30 days. So that's a song. And it's funny, my mom hates that song, or she did. Until I put it on CD, and now she just it's a rockin', almost boot scooting, but with a little bit of ZZ Top-ish in it, I'd say. So it's kind of, I know I just threw out a whole bunch of things, but if you heard it, you'd understand that,
What's the name of your new EP?
The name of the new EP is Dangerous, and that song seems so far to be catching a lot of listeners' ears. A lot of girls I guess girls want to be dangerous, and so they
all want to be a bad girl.
That's right. So,
are you getting any radio play with this new EP?
Man, I haven't done it yet. I'm about to. I think I'm about to go with Seth Necessary.
Oh, nice. He's gonna be a radio promoter.
Yeah.
I dig Seth, man. When I was on the air with Red Dirt Rebel, I was program director out there briefly.
Yeah.
And I'd never really worked with radio promoters very much before.
Right.
And it was just a whole new beast for me, man.
Right.
But I like Seth and Dave Smith. There's a couple other people.
Right.
I was like, look, I'm super green to having to deal with you guys and how this works. Just bear with me. I'm not being rude or ignoring you guys. I'm just learning. And Seth is one of the cooler people about it.
That's cool.
So, but I would recommend that dude for sure.
Yeah. No, he's he'll call me and spend an hour on the phone while I'm driving to Midland. On the weekdays, I started doing oil field sales again. Oil fields picking back up, and I've got to make money to fund this band until we get, where we can, It's kind
Absolutely. So are you just in equipment sales or what
No,
do you do
in the oil field I do, we have Cerber Roustabout. It's a roustabout company, and I do the sales for them.
Okay.
And basically just, bids and getting new MSAs and that kind of stuff. I did it I'd been in the oil field, 4 years prior before I got laid off and all that. And, it's one of those things where I really didn't want to come back. I was like, man, I'm happy. I'm just living in Fort Worth, and I may be broke, but I'm happy.
Right. It's kind of how it is, man. I'm down here in Stephenville. I moved here from Lubbock not too awful long ago, and same sort of deal. I'm broke.
Right.
God, I'm broke, but I'm happier. I'm healthy. My friends down here are like, dude, you've gained some weight. Like, you're smiling again and shit. I know, look at me, scarecrow ass looking motherfucker, but still, it's I enjoy it. I definitely enjoy the happy aspect, man. Like I said, money can't buy happiness. I was less broke in Lubbock, but I'm just a happier person.
Man, I can see that, because I had 4 years where I was making a ton of money, and I just graduated college. I basically was trying to show a certain someone that I was something I wasn't, or something I couldn't be.
Right.
And I was miserable, man. I was kind of in a depression. Speaking of weight, I'd gained a lot of weight. Now, I wake up every morning, I do 25, 50-yard sprints just to start my day, because
the last time I sprinted, I was on the run from the law.
I've been there, done that too. But, it's just, I started thinking, you only get one body, so you might as well try to take care of it. Don't get me wrong, I like all the other stuff too.
Oh, yeah.
But I just had to do a life change of like eating habits and exercise. I still do all the other stuff,
Right, but you got to balance it out,
Right. And I feel 100% better now,
Heck yeah.
I move all over the stage when we got full band, and I'm used to be that guy where I just behind the mic, but now that I'm getting working at it, I'm all over the stage.
Do you feel more confident with your stage presence?
That
has a lot more to do with you moving around. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, by far. I've gotten. I'm trying. I think the more shape I get in, probably the crazier stuff I'm gonna try.
Heck yeah, man. That's what's up.
I was watching Cody Johnson. Me and him went hunting the other day, and me, him, and his lead guitarist Jake Mears.
Those are some cool dudes, man.
Oh man, they're fun. They came. My buddy Cerber and Judd. They have a Martin Outfitters, and so I got to go on this trip, and I cooked. Basically, that's my hidden. Besides playing music, I can cook.
Well, dude, if you'd have hit me up earlier, man, you could have come up. We'd have cooked something. That's kind of my deal too. Like that's how I show like my love. This is my second run having a podcast.
Right.
I had a podcast, and then I wound up getting on, on terrestrial radio, and I just didn't have time for the podcast anymore. But the way I'd run my old podcast is we'd do it in my dining room, but before I'd have, the guests would come over to my house, and we'd sit and bullshit for a minute and talk, and I would cook dinner.
Right.
We'd eat and bullshit, and then I'd send y'all off to sound check. But, I'm kind of living a camper right now, so it's kind of hard to like cook and entertain for people, you know what I mean? And the girlfriend's house is cool, but I'm not going to intrude on her on that deal. But where did you fall in love with cooking?
Man,
or how should I say? How did you fall in love with cooking?
My last name is Carrillo,
right.
Which my dad, is on the Spanish side. And growing up, man, that side of the family could just cook. I mean, like New Mexico style green chili, chili verde, like the authentic real stuff.
We're all about the Mexican cuisine for sure.
Yeah, it's the real stuff, not this
Tex-Mex.
I mean, and I love Tex-Mex.
Did we just become best friends?
Right, but if you
just made best friends.
It's the spice, the
presence of like actual flavors.
I know.
Things don't taste like it. It's like that's what it is.
Exactly. So I grew up on that, and then my dad also every Sunday it was. Sundays were either old country or Tejano music or like old Mexican music, just because Dad, and we he'd cook out barbecue or whatever we're gonna have, fajitas, and he'd make a ton of it so that for the week we get home from football practice, we had, and you just went over there and grabbed the food and put it in the microwave, and so that they didn't have to worry about supper or worry about because we're grown boys, playing football and all that kind of stuff. So So yeah, that's kind of where I learned to cook, was with Dad on those Sundays, and then going to the Frio River, we'd always cook a lot, and then just my Aunt Norma, my dad's sister, is amazing. Then my mom makes. People who say this, but I can for real say that my mom makes the best chicken fried steak you'll ever eat in your life.
Dude, mama cooking, period.
Yeah.
It's kind of one of those things, you know what I mean? Like, nobody does it better.
We get chicken. My brother and I get chicken fried steak on our birthday. Which mine's coming up.
I'm probably going to have to go have a chicken fried after this podcast,
right.
Man. You got me hungry now.
Yeah, well, you can go to Montana's. That place is pretty good.
Right on.
Yeah. But yeah, like, I got my birthday coming up, so I'm not gonna eat chicken fried until my birthday. It's kind of we get chicken fried on our birthdays, my brother and I, and then we get it at Christmas dinner. We already did Thanksgiving. We don't want to have the same
all
dinner
that crap again and more of it.
Yeah, we do chicken fried steak, and then my Aunt Norma comes down and does like the chili Colorado and all the so you got your white people food,
right.
like my mom, that sort of
chicken fried steak, green beans, mashed potatoes, and then carne asada, menudo.
Yeah, then you got all the Mexican side too. So it's
dude, that's the best of both worlds. It's exactly
it's pretty awesome,
right
man.
there, man.
It's funny because I have musicians that come over. Anybody that's met my parents love them, and my parents always give the best hospitality. They're always like, man, dude, your mom's this or your dad's. It's always about the cooking, And when I was cooking down there at the campsite for Cody Johnson and them, Cody ate like 2 big old plates, and he was like, "Man, this stuff's good." Yeah, just kind of joked around. Said, "I'm about to get you to come, cook at one of our deals."
Do it, man. I think they just picked up a second bus.
Yeah, they did. They did. Yeah. No, and I just got on their new bus.
Dude, it's nice.
Yeah, it's funny. We're sitting there, and he pulls up to the ranch, and we're we have chainsaws in case we got to cut branches so they can get the dang bus through.
Right.
It was a big, long, windy road. To get to our campsite, but he had a blast, man. He's a great dude. That was the second time I ever met him, and like I said, I've known Jake for a long time, and but man, Cody, I've met a lot of different artists, and you always get your some people just have bad days,
Yeah, absolutely.
Man, Cody was just gun ho, million miles an hour, ready to have fun, just respectful. He's just a classy, good dude.
He is. He's just a straight up class act. I've met him a couple of times, in passing. You kind of know how those kind of things go.
Right.
But I've been doing a little bit of merch work with Randall King Band here recently, just kind of on my off weekends when I don't have a whole lot going on.
Dude, I think that guy's fixing to kill it.
Dude, for real though.
He's got like that George Strait presence to him. I can see him.
Randall's going to be something. You give it another year. And
I think so too.
It's going to be insane.
Yeah, he. I saw that video. I got a sneak peek before he just released it.
Yeah, another bullet.
Yeah, because I was up there at Infinity Sound, and the guys that do the videos. One of them works up there. It's Brandon Stebbins, bass player. I think his name. My mind went blank, but yeah, man, he showed me a video, and I was just like, And then, of course, I put some video out, and I think that was it. It's pretty good.
Dude, Randall is incredible. There was him and Dalton Domino and Clete Cordero, Benton Leachman, Hunter Hutchison. They're all kind of coming up around the same time there in Lubbock.
Right. Flatland's done really well.
Dude, Flatland Cavalry is got it by the neck, dude.
Wow.
They're doing some incredible things.
Wow.
I couldn't.
And I met Clete the other day.
Good people. I mean, Cleto's such a nice dude. Randall's such a nice dude. You know what I mean? It's to see them, start to get this success. I don't think it could happen to a kinder person or kinder group of people.
Right.
In my mind.
And they're great musicians. I didn't realize that Clete was from Midland because I graduated outside of Midland at Greenwood.
Okay.
And it's funny. All my friends at the Tech and I took off to College Station.
Damn Aggies.
Right. And I ended up graduating from Angela State.
Right on.
But there's times I think about where I would have gone. If not, it probably would have been either here or maybe at Tech, just because of the music scene.
Yeah, dude. The music scene in Lubbock's incredible. The music scene here is picking up quite a bit.
Yeah.
I've talked with a lot of locals that have kind of been here a while that are in the music scene, and they say it's like anywhere, the ups and downs, the lulls. But right now we're on a good up. like I said, here at the Twist, for those of y'all who don't know, I do record this podcast at the Texas Homegrown Studios, which is at the Twist or Twisted J Bar out here in Stephenville. It's really cool. Just come check it out. A little plug for the Twist. But we'll do like the kind of like an open jam out back, and it's not anything advertised or anything like that. It's like if you just want to show up and bring your guitar, there's people out there smoking cigarettes and drinking and we'll listen.
Right.
And odds are, one of the four people out, other people that are out there, know how to play one, and we'll throw up there, and it's a lot of fun, man, to do that. And then there's actually a few like legit open jams. Like Legends has an open jam here in town. Yeah. I think Bostock's has an open jam or like an open mic night kind of stuff. Right.
Well, and I remember, a lot of the bands would come out of Stephenville, and it just seems like as a college town, Tech and Tarleton really support their the bands coming out.
Absolutely.
And when I play Blaine's or anywhere back home in Angelo or even Midland, it's a packed house. I get the same kind of vibe from my fans, in West Texas.
Who all do you know in around San Angelo?
Man, I lived there for 10. Heck, Ben Ryan was my roommate for. If you ever been to the A-frame house, that was my house.
Okay, right on.
Yeah. And everybody's like, "Oh, the A-frame in Angelo."
No, dude, Ben's a straight up, just one of my favorite people ever. Fear the Beard for sure.
Yeah, he's awesome, man.
But no, I've been down to Blaine's a few times down there. But the Zamareppa brothers, Colin and Weston. Colin, some of my favorite people down there. Zach Kane.
Yeah, Zach. Zach's
Savannah, Western's girlfriend. Tyler Lassiter. Shout out to my San Angelo people.
Right.
I don't really like to drink at a lot of different bars. I like to drink, and I damn sure like to drink in a bar. But like being in Lubbock, going to Blue Light is where it's at. It's the only place I would prefer to drink. I've seen you at Blue Light a couple of times, I believe. But like if Blue Light burned to the ground and I had to move some other bar into that place, it would definitely be Blaine's Pub. I dig that joint.
Dude, Blaine's has got a history. Almost everybody's played there, and the new owners, Quayde and Sturm, they're such great people. They'll give you the shirt off their back if they can, and that's kind of where I started. My very first gig, you're gonna laugh, was actually in San Antonio, and it was at a place called Republic of Texas. It's right on the Riverwalk.
Okay.
My buddy, he owned it, or his dad owned it. And that was the first time I'd ever played acoustic in front of anybody, and
was it awesome though?
It was cool, man. I only knew 3 chords, and I only played. I think it was I think I did 7 songs, and the next guy did like 7. There was like 3 of us,
right?
And it was kind of where I got hooked. I'd always wanted to play when I was living in College Station. I just picked up the guitar. Mm-hmm. A buddy of mine, he had a band called Jeremy Todd and the Dirty South, and I'd watched him, and I saw all the girls he was getting, and it was just kind of like, he may have something here,
Yeah, it's amazing what pretty eyes and a smile will make you want to do. You know?
And then I did the worst thing. I fell in love with a girl and wrote 1 million songs.
Well, at least you got the songs.
That's right. I may not have the girl, but I did get all the songs.
Yeah, that's one of the scary things. This is where we'll get deep for a minute, man. Yeah, like falling in love is absolutely terrifying for me. Like I've dated a few women. I just recently got out of a long-term relationship, and I deeply cared for this person. I'll go ahead and say it. I love this person.
Right.
But it just to be that vulnerable and to eventually you can get some great songs out of the deal, and of course there's benefits to everything, but it's intimidating as hell when you realize you're like catching feelings for somebody.
Oh yeah,
to that level. It's like you're either gonna slam on you're gonna slam on the floor either way. You're just gonna be the gas pedal, the brake pedal. You know what I mean?
Man, it's been quite a long time since I had a serious relationship. It was kind of like once I went through like 7 years with one girl, and it was we'll be nice and leave it at that. But it ruined it for the next one. And the next one was a great
good one.
Yeah, and I completely I let her go because what she wanted at the time was get married, have kids,
Mm-hmm.
and I knew I couldn't do that right now at that time.
Right.
And even though, it was weird because I'd figured out that I loved her. Like
Mm-hmm.
I really loved this girl, and it was. But I let her go because of that reason, and then I've been, it's like you've been kicking yourself ever since. But I finally got over that, and I think going through all the stuff, all the hell I've been through, and adversity, and all that kind of stuff, I just don't. For a long time, I've just hadn't had time for love, I guess.
Right.
If that makes sense.
No, it absolutely makes sense.
Because now I realize you got to build yourself
Mm-hmm.
as a person, as your foundation, as your structure, as you have to be truly happy yourself before you can make somebody else happy.
Right.
And that's and it's funny now when I go date people, I always try to make sure that this person is ready. And most of the time they're not, especially when you're a musician.
Yeah, no, and they all want to be a part of the whole that everybody wants to date a rock star until they date a rock star kind of deal.
Until they get a certain age and they're like, nah, I don't want to do that anymore.
Man, it's kind of one of those things for sure. I'm actually dating a singer-songwriter right now, and it's the same kind of sort of deal. She's gone, couple of nights a week playing this or doing that or going here and there. And it doesn't bother me, but like at the same time, eventually things are going to pick up for her. There's going to be more gigs. She's going to be traveling more, and it's like, well, she's not going to be in town. She's not going to be in town, and it kind of opened my eyes for a little bit because I was a tour manager for quite a while with a couple of different bands,
right?
And the girl I was dating at the time, all she did was complain that I was gone.
Right.
And and I'm like, I don't know why the hell you're mad. I'm coming home. I'm not doing anything stupid on the road. You know what I mean? Like it's all gonna be fine. But then you looking at it now, it's like, well, eventually she's gonna be around less. And then it's like, okay, now I'm kind of seeing where the ex-girlfriend would kind of have some issues with people being gone. But it's back to everybody wants to date a rock star until they date a rock star.
Yeah, I would say that. And then and then they start. It's funny because they start out like, oh, I don't care what you do, and then
until they start caring.
And then it's like, oh, you didn't check in with me, you didn't, and man, I just don't have time for that. Like I've dated 2 different girls, and it was great for about a week, and then after that, it was like, you're not paying attention to me, and I'm like, I am busy. I've got a full-time job. I drive 400 miles, a day, doing sales, and then I drive 400 miles to go play gigs, on the weekends. So it's like I don't. Right now, I have time for me,
Mm-hmm.
And
well, I mean, and ultimately, you'll be happier doing more time, like for you over the deal, because like you said, you're building yourself as a person. You're putting your life together. You're able to contemplate thoughts and focus on yourself.
Oh yeah.
And which is awesome. But dude, that's gonna eventually that's what more people need to do. You see all these posts of these 14, 15-year-old girls like, I need a man that blank. And it's like, no. You need to wait till you're like 30. Right. And realize that life sucks and everybody sucks. You just put up with a certain level of suck, but enjoy yourself while all the sucking is going on. And that's kind of how I see life some days.
I think you got to find a balance in everything.
Exactly.
And too much of a good thing is not a good thing.
Not at all.
And back
too much whiskey, you puke, right?
Right. I mean, I back in the day, man. When we played, I partied a lot. In fact, we probably didn't go very far because that's all we did was party. Right. This second time around that I've done this, I don't bring a bottle on stage like I used to. Mm-hmm. I don't do any of that crazy stuff. I do like to have fun though. So. Well,
I mean, it's kind of one of those things you could save for, like private parties kind of sort of deals, or
private parties and. Just
big festivals, like say you play at LJT. Damn right, bring a bottle on stage. Do it. Why the hell not? Evan Felker that shit.
Well, with Larry Joe's permission, of course.
Of course. you got to get Larry Joe's clearance for anything. I think somebody learned that the hard way this year.
Yeah, no pyros.
Yeah, no fire, please. Yeah. But speaking of, have you ever been to Larry Joe Taylor's Texas Music Festival as a fan, a spectator?
I've only been as a fan. I've gone tons of times, and man, it's a blast.
Did you go this last year?
I went for Saturday, and that was all. That was only I had to work, and I was planning on going Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and actually I think Wednesday was supposed to be one of the better days. It seems like it always is.
Yeah, the middle of the week's usually a killer lineup somewhere.
Yeah, and
we usually go on Sunday. We'll go a day early. You've only just got to pay like an extra day for your sites, and so my sites are like $45 a day.
Right.
And so I shell out $90, and there's my 2 sites. We can load in and set up, go to Walmart, come back before dark, and then wake up with a hangover on Monday and go ahead and kick it off right. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, no, it's and I enjoy Larry Joe Taylor Festival. It's it's amazing. We actually used to have like a bunch of my buddies. They're the Crazy Eddie camping spot or whatever it is.
Okay.
Like it's like and they have like a naked slip and slide and all that kind of stuff. And so
I may or may not have hung out there.
Right.
We'll say
so
that.
I stayed. One year I stayed with those guys, and it was like, wow, like it was pretty crazy. It was fun.
Heck yeah. No, we post up like back in the woods of Shiner. Like back end.
Yeah.
And you're still close enough. You're a 4-minute walk from the main stage or the all-sub stage, whichever one you need to get to quickly. And at the same time, there's not through traffic.
Right.
You know what I mean? There's not people coming by or driving or stupid drunk neighbors kind of sort of stuff.
I think my favorite thing though, like, is watching the morning walk of shame of certain people.
Oh my God! Isn't it
some
awesome?
of it is just, and then I like to. Like I'm like, hey, how you doing? Just
say, girl, how was your night?
Yeah,
and they
just
they give you that, just shove it up your ass look. Oh my God.
Some of them do that, and then some of them do like they'll kid with you, like they just didn't have enough, or something,
Right.
Like it kind of cracks me up the way they do it.
Dude, of course the LJT Confessions page is solid gold every year as
well. Yeah, it's pretty good.
Dude, there was I really want to find out who this guy is. They post all these things anonymously.
Right.
But there's just 2 friends that were hanging out at LJT this year, and one of them like drugged the other one with something and Viagra. And so this guy like blacks out and has an uncontrollable man bone. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, this guy is just stupid blackout drunk and screwed up on something and is running and is tackling people screaming dickle doodle doo. And it does this all around the camp. We saw him. Me and a couple buddies of mine saw this guy. But apparently he got punched 3 or 4 times. But what had happened was friend A drugged friend B, and so then friend B is just out there doing all this shit at LGD. We saw him once like running, and it was just a naked guy with a boner running. I was like, well, yep, there's a Larry Joe Tayller Fest for you,
Right.
But
you're gonna sum it all up to that
in a nutshell, or not in it. All I can think of is nuts now. My bad. But this guy comes up like 4 or 5 times on the confessions page. Somebody, people are like, yo, we were just hanging out at camp, and this guy like runs and jumps over our campfire naked and tackles somebody out of the chair and screams dickle doodle doo and runs off. And then finally like it comes to light what had happened on the page. But
just sounds like something like Rodney Carrington would do. Like that'd be his,
or Wheeler Walker Jr. One or the other.
Yeah. I mean, just.
Have you ever? Do you listen to much Wheeler Walker Jr. or have you checked out any of his?
Man, stuff? I have checked it mainly because I think one of the Zambaripas was either posting it all the time or listening to it. I can't remember. It might have been Weston or it could have been Colin. I don't know.
I think Weston's the one who's obsessed.
It might have been Weston, yeah. And I listen to it. It's funny. I mean,
I dig it, man. He actually just kicked off his own podcast. Dude, shameless plug. Wheeler Walker Jr. podcast. He's had Chris Shiflett, Billy Joe Shaver, and Paul Cawthon on so far. A couple other people as well, but like, I mean, I get to see, Paul Cawthon was on there. I got to see him about a year and change ago. It was a Sunday fun day there at Blue Light. I was on the back patio, chilling, no big deal. It was him and Drew Kennedy, and now it's like, dude, I got to see Paul Cawthon and Drew Kennedy acoustic on the back patio.
That's cool.
Like,
that's cool.
It's kind of one of those deals. How often do you make it to Lubbock, by the way, since we're talking about Blue Light nonstop?
Man, I need to start. I was going up there once a month trying to get booked at Blue Light. I was going on the open mic stuff, and then I did the contest, and I bumped into, I guess Six was there that evening, and Six told me, he said, man, he just kind of told me, he said, make sure you get a hold of this guy, and I guess Parker Morrow.
Yeah.
And
he's a bass player for Red Shahan.
Yeah, and he said, make sure you get a hold of this guy, and we'll start getting you in. And he said this contest is not really for you, I guess, because I'm not from the Lubbock area, or I didn't go to school there, and so my chances of winning probably weren't what it is. But I'd say
there's a little bit of local bias, but there's a couple of times I've seen out of towners win for sure.
That's cool. Yeah, well, I just want new ears. I want new listeners.
Right.
I want new ears.
Well, that's the way I definitely see those singer-songwriter competitions for sure. It's not really who wins. It's networking.
It's networking.
It's putting your material out there, and you're meeting other artists.
Exactly.
You're meeting fans.
Exactly.
And of course, if there's a judges panel, there's other people in the industry there.
And I did the same thing.
It's all rubbing elbows and smiling.
Oh,
man.
yeah. And I did the same thing for this one with, I got to do the Larry Joe Taylor's one. And and that's what it's about. If I ever win any. Funny thing is, man, if I didn't have bad luck, I wouldn't have it at all. Kind of one of those kind of things.
Murphy follows me around.
Yeah, so I'm not worried about winning this or winning that, or some of these guys win whatever contest, and what I'm worried about is new listeners, people coming to my shows. Building that relationship with those fans and putting out stuff that's real, that's me, and so with all those contests, man, I mean, I'll enter them just because you never know.
Dude, you never know. You might win it, and of course, like with the whole networking aspect, you can meet the person who you needed to meet for whatever you have to get done.
Right. No, definitely, and it's like meeting John. First time I met John was John Hollinger was that kind of thing, and we just kind of talked for a bit, and then he saw me play this Larry Joe Taylor, contest here, the songwriting deal, and I saw John again, and it's funny, I didn't even know John was at the ranch for so long. Yeah. And when I first met him, I'm one of those, I really need to get out there and start researching everything with in the industry, because there's so many people that I haven't met or that has changed since I came back to music to play again.
Well, dude, it's a constant shuffle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like for instance, the Red Dirt Rebel has an entire new DJ cast.
Right.
Neely Yates is no longer on air with them. David Wild is now on air with us here at Texas Homegrown.
Right.
I'm doing stuff here with Texas Homegrown, and we were it. We were the core cast.
Right.
And so I know that they've got Timothy Haynes is his name. He goes by JR.
Yeah.
They're out of College Station.
See, when he lived in San Angelo, it was Kansas on the radio.
Kansas. They called him Bigham or something else there.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody's got a radio name. I was Dr. Quayde.
Dr. Quayde.
Dr. Quayde, medicine man. But they've got him up there now, and I believe Jim Dixon is doing some work with them as well.
Yeah.
He's a musician, cat out of Lubbock. Also a good connection to have up there.
The guys I really know up there the most in Lubbock scene is, I've hung out with Dalton at Blue Light a couple times. They used to be called Dick's Hat Band.
40 Thieves now. So you're hanging out with Casey and Kelly.
Yeah, Casey and Kelly. I probably hang out with them more than I hang out with anybody as far as in Lubbock.
Those guys and the No Dry County guys are like your core group of badasses in Lubbock.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They're great musicians, man. They're
absolutely, man.
And they're such good dudes.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
sorry. Somebody left their phone in my studio. And it's my phone now. So, but how long have you known the guys from Dick's Hat Band?
Man, I've known them for probably anywhere from 7 or 8 years. They're friends with. There's a buddy of mine named Chet Bowles. He's a cousin of Casey's.
Okay.
And that's how I met them one night. They were playing at Blaine's, and we were actually off back then, and I ended up I'd always go to Chet's because it was during the summer, and we'd always be on the boat in the morning and drink beer and go out on the lake all damn day, and then continue to progress up the night, and anyways, we went and watched them play that night, and then we got back to the campsite, or got back to Chet's place, and cooked up some grub and drank beer and pitch washers, and to whatever time till sun comes up if we had to, you know.
Dude, that's what's up.
So, and that used to kind of be a regular thing there in Angelo, because I had that lake house and Chet had his right down the road, and so all the artists would come in, and we, you know, it was like an open party, grab whatever you want. There's washers, there's beer pong, there's, you know, it's just some glory days for sure, man.
Heck yeah. So you're saying that you're living in Fort Worth now. You know, of course, I know you're a lot busy with work and even more busy trying to, you know, continue to do your music and what all. But when you got time to dick around up there, what do you do?
Man, when I'm not writing, I write every day. But when I'm not songwriting, I'm really just trying to learn Fort Worth, meeting new people.
How long have you been up there?
I've been there for about a year and I'd say 3 months, 4 months, something like that.
Right on.
And I love it, man. I fell in love with Funky Town, and you know, maybe one of these days I'll be able to afford to buy me some land somewhere like around here or around New Braunfels, or, you know, my dream is to have land one day. And
yeah, absolutely.
And
little house, big hunk of land, nobody to fuck with.
There you go. Yeah. If I want to shoot a deer on my own property, I'll do it. If I want to,
you're gonna have to get into my freezer to find him. Good luck with that.
Right. So, I love to hunt. I love the outdoor stuff. I'm probably more of a sports guy, but over the years, you know, during college, I got more into hunting and kind of felt I just like being out in the middle of nowhere a lot of times, you know.
Dude, it's a lot. I think it's better for your brain to be out in the middle of nowhere versus in town.
Yeah,
for sure.
Well, I grew up small town, so it was kind of. I grew up out in the country, so I was always by myself, you know.
Right.
You know, we lived like a mile from the cemetery, and behind my house was nothing but acres and acres and acres of farm, you know.
Dude, it sounds amazing.
And then there was like a little bit of woods, you know, or what we called the woods, you know. And
right.
We'd build forts and, you know, take sand dunes and, you know, just, I mean,
like actually be a kid and like actually play outside and do things. I think our generation, or not our generation, but like our future in a few years, I mean, pardon my French, but we're fucked. Because kids aren't playing in sandboxes and eating mud pies anymore. They're not out there necessarily riding bikes and shooting each other with BB guns and out running and playing with the river anymore. Everybody's got drones and hoverboards and cell phones.
You know, it's definitely different times. I feel like we've became so soft as a nation.
I think we've become soft as a species. As a whole, the human.
Yeah. I mean, you know, back in the day, man, you worked for. I mean, if you wanted something to eat, you went and killed it yourself. You know, and
right.
And that's kind of one thing that I pride myself on is if I put me out in the wilderness and I need to go kill a deer, a hog, or whatever.
Right.
And I got a gun or something, I'm gonna figure it out. You know, and but you put people in that situation that's never been in that situation, they're gonna freak out or. We're so overpopulated and getting that way that, you know, everything and the world's gotten so much smaller.
It has, man. There's not much room to roam anymore because, like you said, with there is no population control one way or another. You know what I mean? We're overpopulated, and I mean, shit. I remember when there was only 4 billion people on the planet. Like when I was in school, and there's 4 billion people on planet Earth, and now it's like, there's 7 billion people on planet Earth. Like, shit, half of us have done reproduced again. Yeah. So what the hell's going on, man?
Yeah, it is what it is.
But it's crazy to think about it that way. That I mean, to quote Randy Rogers or. Shit, who was it who did that song about the hill country? It's like they call it the hill country.
Yeah, it was Randy Rogers.
Yeah, but what are they going to call it when it's leveled and paved?
Yeah. So
it's not just the hill country shit.
No,
it could be middle of Podunk, nowhere, Nebraska.
Well, yeah, like JJ.
That state.
You ever heard of the band called JJ Gray and the Mofro?
Oh, dude.
That's probably my favorite band, and it's probably where I've kind of gained a lot more of my bluesier influences. But you know, they talk about, you know, saving the swampland. You know, what may be swamp to you is still home to them. You know, but they're building more and more, you know, golf courses and more, you know, structured housing and, you know, and everything else. And I mean, that's just because the world's growing. It's faster than we can keep up with. You know.
Absolutely. So you said you were just listening to JJ Gray and Mofro. What all else do you listen to, man? I know that you get a lot of drive time in, especially, you know, with work and doing the whole music thing.
Man,
what's tickling your ears right now, man?
Man, I listen to mainly songwriters. That's probably my biggest thing. I love Sturgill Simpson's writing.
Sturgill's the man.
Of course, you got Jason Isbell and a guy named David. Was it Ramirez or Martinez?
Dude, there's
both of them are good.
Yeah, Dave Martinez for sure, and David Ramirez.
Yeah,
both awesome.
And I've listened to. I mean, both are good. And there's John Fulbright has got a creative mind. I dig John Fulbright. In fact, he's probably my favorite young writer. So I listen. I
think BJ Barnum's probably my favorite songwriter out there right now.
BJ's good. I just, I never really had gotten into him until he started gaining momentum in Angelo. He sells out Blaine's every time.
Oh, absolutely, man.
And
they sell out almost everywhere in Texas that they play.
I think so now, yeah. And see, when I first went, they didn't, and it was the first time I'd ever seen him play. And I was like, man, who is this guy? He's kind of got a different sound, and then I listened to it, and I was like, man, I'm loving it, And I listen to songwriting. That's my deal. I don't listen. I love Sean McConnell. Is one of the best. I mean, to me, he's probably one of the most.
His voice is.
He's one of the most
total
so packages out there as far as his songwriting ability, the singing ability, because his vocals are ridiculous, and then his acoustic is just
he can freaking kill it, man.
He's an all around.
He's
an all around. Yeah, he's one of the total packages in my opinion. And so those are the kind of guys I listen to. I used to, growing up, one of my biggest influences, I guess, storytelling wise, was Robert Earl King, and then Chris Knight. Love the way he writes. I got on to Harry Styles here lately.
Yeah.
I think that was because of Kale.
Warren.
Yeah, I think it was like his birthday. He'd posted something, and I was like, Harry, huh? Let me check out Harry because it's 3 a.m. and I'm up. And
he's like, here, man, check out some Harry Styles.
Yeah, well, he was like, I'm gonna finish.
Shout out to Kale Moreland.
Right. He's like, I'm gonna finish my birthday off right. Is what I read on. It was like Harry Styles. So I was like, man, I'm gonna check this dude out. And then I listened to him, and now my brother listens to him, and
The girlfriends are big on that new Harry Styles album right now.
Yeah.
So I don't dislike it. I like it fine, but there's not really, for me at least, there's not. I mean, I'm not listening to it when she's not around.
Right, right.
Man, but I don't dislike it. But she's kind of got me turned on. I bob my head quite a bit, man. I may have just not given it a solid chance yet, honestly.
Right. Well, like the first time I listened to it, I liked it, and the second time I listened to it, the more I listen to it, the better I like it, because you're starting to read the messages or hear the it's. Like I said, I listen to writing, and whether I agree with the writing or not, it's still writing, and I appreciate writing. It's like everybody with this whole political stuff. I grew up Christian, Republican, conservative. I mean, I have been my whole life.
Right.
But I'm kind of glad I didn't do it. I didn't get involved in an election. I keep politics, religion. I keep basically everything off my Facebook except for music and family, like family stuff. You know?
And memes.
Yeah, and memes.
You gotta have
the memes. So but I keep politics and all that stuff out because, man, to be honest, I quit paying attention to politics because I used to be all over it. I mean, I could tell you anything and everything on both sides.
Right.
But man, when you do that, you're not enjoying life.
No, it becomes consuming.
It does, and it makes you negative and can change your mood. And
absolutely,
if I was dating a girl those times, I'm sorry. Whatever girls out there that I was dating, I'm sorry. That's all I'm saying.
Dude, it'll happen that way.
Because I get on political debate. Yeah, they are on Facebook.
Oh yeah.
And I'm just like, oh yeah, yeah, take that, and even Ben Ryan back in the day, I'd be like, dude, check this out. That's what I told him. He's like, yeah, and of course the other guy's probably reading it in a totally different tone of voice, and and whatever.
Oh, yeah,
so it's like you're not helping your cause. It's not going to save them from whatever. They're not going to be like, you just changed my view on life. I'm not going to be conservative anymore. I'm going to be liberal. Or I'm not going to be liberal anymore. I'm going to be conservative.
And then there's those people that's like, I don't give a shit what side you're on. You post anything politically, like I'm done with you. I don't. That's
kind of what
But I think it's more healthy to be that way, man. Like, this last election, everybody wanted to stir the pot with their dick, man. That's just the way it goes.
Right.
Everybody had to leave their shit behind.
Oh yeah.
And I voted. The candidate I voted for did not win, but maybe Gary Johnson will run again. But that's about as deep as I'm gonna get politically on that, man.
Right.
But it's I watched some people that I really respected and like cared about and like thought of as very intelligent people just make complete fucking asses of themselves over political differences with other people that I also looked up to and respected. And so that from that aspect, it's like if two of your friends, one's on the left wing, one's on the right wing,
and you get to sit ugly side, man.
Yeah, you're that awkward guy in the middle, and you can't say anything because then you're picking a side. You don't want to dick with anyone, but it's all shitty.
Right.
And it's just.
Well, and I've kind of got it in my head now that, man, they're all in it together.
Dude, it is, man.
I mean, it's
left wing or right wing, it's all still a big old buzzard, man. It's still the vulture picking on the dead.
Yeah, if I could, I'd go back to the days when, we cowboys and Indians or something,
Right.
Less things to worry about killing us except for just Mother Nature,
Yeah, I think
where you couldn't afford to be lazy or
you could die.
Dude,
I honestly, they're talking about, or people have spoke of like if there was some sort of disaster sort of thing to end society as we know it on the North American continent, all they'd really have to do is drop a big EMP and, knock out our electronics, the internet, the computers, the blah, 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 all that shit. Dude,
people are going to go nuts.
That would be to go back to like the 20s. And then it's like, hold on, let me get out my whale oil lamp over here.
Right.
And ride my horse over here. Like, that would be epic. And I mean, yeah, there would be a lot more hard things. Yeah, you're gonna have to actually. You want some squash? Plant that, sons of bitches. You want some fried okra? Right. Guess what you're growing this.
Hey, you want to go talk to that girl? You actually got to walk your happy ass over there and say, "Hey, how you doing?"
You're gonna have to slide up under that cotton dress, boy. Get after it.
Yeah, but, can't send her a meme to make her laugh first.
We've lost. Maybe this is just
we've lost personal. Like communication between person to person.
So much.
Look at the dinner table. Sit around the dinner table with your family, and see who touches their phone first. And I've kind of gotten here lately.
Dude, my family will put theirs. My mom will say, "All right, phone's on the table," and everybody. I don't go home very often now that I'm living here, but my mother also lives in Lubbock.
Yeah.
And so like when I lived there. Every Sunday, we would meet at my mom's house or my grandma's house, and we would do a Sunday dinner, and we'd all eat lunch and watch a movie or something. Then everybody going about their day, but we'd stack our phones like Jenga bricks, and whoever touched, until everybody's plate was clean. Whoever touched their phone before that, or reached for them or whatever, they had to do dishes.
Yeah, so that's good. Like my family when I grew up. I mean, hell, I was lucky just to have a phone,
Dude, I didn't get one until I could pay for it myself. Yeah. I was 16.
Yeah. So my pops was hard on us, but it was hard on us for good reason. Of course, I still turned out to be a black sheep, but
Hey, whatever. We all still say bye.
You know what I've learned over the years is that my brother got away with everything. Is what it was. He was just as bad as I was. He just was smarter at getting away.
I'm the oldest boy in the family. And
see, I'm the youngest.
And I've fucked up a lot. And I've been caught for fucking up a lot.
Right.
And my youngest brother, he's 15. His name's Kelton, and he's awesome. And he pushes the envelope. He gets away with a lot of shit that I wouldn't have. But he's a lot better kid. Dude, when I was his age, dude, well, I was up to all sorts of heinous shit.
Oh, I was too, and I was one of those. It was like I had a chip on my shoulder, and
the world owed me something, and I'm going to get it out of you if I have to, kind of.
And I think what it was is when I was a kid, growing up, I'd get picked on,
Right.
And then one day, Dad was like, the next person that touches you, I want you, to kick that ass, and if you come home and you got your ass kicked, expect another ass kicking when you get home.
Exactly.
So I took that as a message, like don't
gotta handle your shit, man.
Yeah. So as a kid, that's just kind of how it was, and nowadays, man, I feel sorry for what I see on there, and kids getting picked on, they can't do nothing about it,
but at the same time, like I get where you're coming from. I've got, I'll call them a niece and nephew. They're kind of my aunt's kids, so they're cousins, but they're really young, and so
right.
I'm kind of more of an uncle figure. I'd like to see myself that way. I'm a fucked up uncle in everybody's family, if you'll have me. but the little girl, she's got like anger issues, and it's just angry and like outbursts all the time. And the little boy, he's the older one of the siblings, and he's like allergic to everything and computer nerd. And I'm a computer nerd too, but like all in the video games, won't play sports, bitches about getting picked on all the time. And I've told my aunt a couple of times, like, I'm like, listen here, hon, this is what you need to do. You need to whip her ass and tell him to whip ass, and that's how you get over all of this.
You got to get tougher.
You can't talk anybody into having a spine these days. Back in the day, you could give somebody a pep talk and tell them, listen here, kick ass or get your ass kicked, and something would happen. And now everybody walks around like their tail stuck between their legs all the time. You know?
It's definitely a change of world.
We're not bitter or anything, right?
No. Well, it's funny because like I could get on to my nephews. I got 3. I love my nephews; they're awesome. But I can get on to them, man, and it's like a different tone than what their dad gives them. Right? Because me, I'm like, hey, I'm not your dad. I'll bust your ass.
Right.
Right here in front of everybody.
Right. Test me, motherfucker.
Yeah. Whereas my brother, I think because it just happened so much, he's kind of like, they'll work it out. But I'm like, man, no, they're not. You need to go with it. Dad wouldn't do that. Dad would bust our ass if we did something stupid.
Absolutely.
So, and Dad busted my ass a lot.
No, I agreed. I got a shitload of ass whippings, but one of my brothers called me the other day. His name's Christopher, and he and I are a couple of years apart. He's married now, got a baby on the way, and I kind of asked him the same deal. I'm like, so how you raising these kids? Like, are they going to be a little shit like you, or are you going to raise them with manners? You know what I mean? Just messing with him. And, we kind of got to talking about, just kind of the difference of, on how people raise their kids now versus how they did then, and
right.
Things like that. And it's some interesting stuff, man.
Definitely.
I don't know. I was going somewhere with that, and I lost my train of thought. Imagine that.
That's cool. Man, with just everything, it's kind of like my mom and dad keep asking me, you're going to get married, you're going to have kids, and,
I got a truck and a dog. There's commitment.
I know, right? I'm like, and they're all, you're not getting any younger, and I'm like, in this day of time, if it happens, it happens. If it don't, it don't.
Right.
I'm not going to, I've already gone and chased the girl. I've already been that dude dancing in the rain, running 1,000,000 miles to go. Right. I've done every romantic thing you could ever think of, and if that hadn't worked, then
something will, but on its own time.
Exactly. And so now it's kind of I'm completely. I had to change a lot over the years, And the biggest thing is the biggest thing now is confidence, because you start taking care of the things you need to get taken care of, and it's amazing how much easier life really gets, and so the confidence level, I think, has gone, as far as helps with whether it's relationships or friendships or getting a job done,
mm-hmm.
or whatever relationship you got to, it's just your communication and confidence, it's kind of been what I've done here lately. And then just rebuilt, I've rebuilt myself as a body, my structure, sometimes, man, it's your heart.
Yeah.
You got to go back and fix that. If you can fix your heart, a
lot of things will come in line after, right?
Exactly. At the end of the day, you got to look in the mirror and face the person in front of you,
Absolutely. You're born with yourself. Of course,
Yeah, your self-image is
right, but you're born. I don't know. I guess the best way to put it is you're born wet, naked, and alone. You're gonna die wet, naked, and alone.
Right. You know what I mean? No, that's right.
You have to put up with yourself 24/7. You even got to deal with your own shit in your sleep. So why not be at peace with it?
Right. If you take care of things around you, everything else will. Life's a lot easier. Otherwise, you're going to do it either way, and it's going to be harder because it's either more of it or something's going wrong.
Absolutely. Well, I'm saying it's about time for a shot. If that's cool with you, you want to do a shot?
Yeah, man. You ready to go?
Heck yeah. Why don't you go ahead and tell us where we can find your music, where you're playing next, the name of the project that you've got out now, what you're working on. Shout out to any sponsors, management, anything you got going on. This is all you.
Okay. I'd like to give a shout out to Infinity Sound, Max. He's kind of the guy that started. He's a I don't know if you'd call it a label, but he's been helping me, with web page and all that kind of stuff. And
right on.
It's his studio I get to record in, and and Jude and have Max makes a lot of things happen. Another guy is Cerber Roustabout, who I work for. He actually paid for the album.
Right on.
And so I want to give shout outs to them. Iron Horse Roustabout too. It's his brother. And Jude Dillon, I want to give a shout out because he's an amazing producer and got me back into doing what I love, which is music.
Heck yeah.
And then, man, just my family, dude. My family's probably everything to me. So
right on. Well, where can we find your music, man?
You can find music at cletebradley.com. Or you can go on iTunes.
CLETE.
Yeah, CLE.
Bradley the way it sounds.
Yep, Bradley the way it sounds. And you can do that. You can go either there or you can go any Spotify, iTunes. It's all on there. The name of the EP is called Dangerous.
Dangerous.
That's right. Most girls are liking that song, so you might check that out first, I guess.
Right on. And where are you playing next, my man?
My next show, I just got through doing. Well, I guess after that, that's 3 this week, and then next week I'm actually off.
Congratulations.
And then it's actually gonna be my birthday weekend. So I'm sure.
Well, happy early birthday.
Yeah, so I'm sure we'll figure something out. And then that next week, I'll be in West Texas. I'm gonna play the Beer Garden.
Right there across the street from Blue Light. That actually just opened up.
No. This is Beer Garden in Midland.
Oh, okay. Well, there's actually a beer garden that just opened up in the old Cactus Courtyard right there next to Triple J.
I bet you the same owners probably.
I don't know. I saw a video for it today because they've had a sign out there for a few months that they're going to be doing something with that. And I saw a video on Facebook today that they've got some shit out there. It's not officially open yet, but they've about got it done, that beer garden there in Lubbock. And I'm excited for it, man. They're claiming to be able to do a bunch of live music, and they've got like oversized Jenga, and they've got beer pong set up with like a beach ball and trash cans and shit like that. So I'm pretty anxious to see what it does.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, I've kind of, as far as venues go, I want to get into every place I can, and
absolutely,
I'm sure I'll get into Blue Light again here pretty soon. And I've been working my way into that. And the hardest thing I think about starting over as a musician with a new name and new everything is, man, it's like starting from scratch.
Absolutely, square one.
So getting to certain venues is, it's like, hey, you not remember me, and blah blah. Then it kind of but now I got to get stuff on the radio. So,
dude, and I really hope that you and Seth get all that worked out with him doing your radio promotions, man. He's a killer dude. I really hope that
I think so too.
Helps it out with you.
He actually hit me up today, and it was at voicemail because I had to take a nap. I've been going a million miles an hour.
Dude, I feel you. Power naps save lives.
Yeah, so I got to call him. I'm either going to call him here in a bit, or I'm going to call him, like first thing tomorrow or something. So,
right on.
Last time I called him, he would think he was on vacation or something, like with his wife going to see parents or grandparents or something. So I just let him be, But
right on.
He's a good dude.
Best of luck with you tonight, my dude. Best of luck on what you've got going on.
Yeah.
Of course, y'all check it out. Clete Bradley Dangerous on iTunes, Spotify, and anywhere music can be found. This has been another episode of the Quayde Things podcast. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see y'all next week.